Hey, welcome to Perth Backyard Veg. Today we're going to show you how we keep our worms alive during summer. Now we can get some really hot weather here in Perth. We get some stretches of 40-degree days. Last year we had 5 40-degree days in a row and we managed to keep our worms alive over summer. So here's our tips to keep your worms alive. We have 3 worm systems. We've got this tub here, we've got our above ground worm tower, and then we've got our in-ground worm tower, and we have videos on all 3 systems on our channel if you want to see how we set those up. Now the 2 above ground ones are the ones that are especially important. The in-ground worm tower, the worms can regulate their own temperature by going deeper into the ground to escape the heat, whereas in these above ground systems they can't. So one of the things we do is we put them in a shaded spot. So we've got this up against the house where it doesn't get the afternoon sun, so that keeps it cooler. The next thing is that we always have some kind of top layer. Now you might use a special worm blanket, a piece of cardboard, some wet newspaper, or some hessian in here, but we like to keep this damp. Now as you can see, we need to re-moisten this piece here, but by having this damp layer on top, it keeps the system cool, and this can evaporate off in the warmer weather. The next options that we have are either some ice blocks or actual ice. If your worm farm's quite dry, then go for the ice option because it will melt and add moisture to the system. Whereas when you use the ice blocks, you won't get as much moisture going into the system, which is perfect if you've already got the right moisture level. Now we haven't started doing this yet because we're only just approaching our warm weather, but as it gets quite warm, we will save some of our scraps and freeze them. That means that the food that the worms are eating is actually cold as well, and it will thaw in the system. Again, if we're getting some quite hot weather and this is drying out quite a bit and we want a long lasting effect, we would take those scraps and put them in a container with some water and freeze that entire container and then add that into here. Alright, so now we've re-moistened our cardboard layer here to act as a blanket and insulator on top. We've added our ice in here as well, and that will cool down the worm farm but also add some moisture to the system as well. Now if we dig down in here, we should be able to find the worms. Because we had a quite warm day yesterday and it's a bit warm and muggy today, we'll probably find the worms lower in the bin. So even though they can't go lower in the ground because it's not an in-ground system, they will still try and find a lower point. And there they are, our happy little worms wriggling down at the bottom. I'll put our little worm friends back, but I hope you found that video useful and that you'll give some of these tips a try to keep your worms happy during summer. If you have any other tips that we've missed, or you've got any questions about keeping your worm tower happy, pop them down in the comment section below and we'll be sure to answer those for you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.